This sick Puma was rescued from a zoo and is now a spoiled house cat. If you think you love cats, you should take a look at Mariah and Alexander Demetrius's cat. This is one big cat, trust us. The couple decided that instead of adopting an ordinary house cat, they would rather save a Puma kitten from certain death. Messi isn't your typical Puma. He won't attack the moment he sees you. In fact, he'd much rather snuggle or play. He behaves just like a regular house cat. In Penza, Russia, there's a zoo called Saransk Zoo where 3 Puma cubs were born. Because Russia was hosting 4 World Cup matches, the zoo named the cubs after famous soccer players Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. But at just 3 months old, Messi began suffering from health problems. The zoo tried their best to care for him, but it quickly became clear they would rather have him placed elsewhere. One day, Alexander and Mariah visited the zoo and met Messi, then just 8 months old. They had always dreamed of owning a big cat, though they never thought it would actually happen. They used to think about getting a lynx, but when they saw Messi, it was love at first sight. When they learned that Messi was too sick for the zoo to properly care for him, they jumped into action and offered to adopt him. To their surprise, the zoo agreed. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were ready for the challenge. Their first goal was to help him recover his health. Aside from being a wild animal, Messi also had several medical issues that required constant care. Even after recovering, he remained much smaller than average, only about 2/3 the size of a normal adult Puma. Once his health stabilized, they had to face the next hurdle, his behavior as a wild animal. They began searching for an animal trainer who would help. But no one was willing to work with a Puma. The couple raised Messi in their 1-bedroom apartment, making big changes to adapt to his needs. They turned the hallway into a den and even gave him a tree to use as a scratching post. Eventually, they found a dog trainer who was willing to help. After a few sessions, Messi had already learned 10 commands and was clearly eager for more activity. Messi hadn't been able to get much exercise while living at the zoo. Now the couple takes him on 2 long walks every day, each lasting about an hour. They also got him a strong harness for safety. While the couple knows their beloved big cat is gentle and safe, not everyone agrees. Many animal rights activists argue that it's wrong for Messi to live with them instead of in the wild. But the couple knows the truth. Messi wouldn't survive out there on his own. Other people have warned that, even if he seems calm now, there could come a day when his natural instincts take over, and no one knows what might happen then. But for now, Messi is staying right where he belongs, with the family that raised him, Alexander and Mariah. Many animal activists have questioned whether the couple is even allowed to legally keep Messi. It turns out they are. While most countries have strict laws against keeping wild animals as pets, Russia is different. There, the only laws that apply are related to injuring or killing wild animals, not owning them. So technically, Alexander and Mariah are free to keep Messi with them as long as they like. Despite the ongoing debates around the ethics and legality of raising a wild animal at home, Messi has built up quite a fan base. In fact, he even has his own Instagram account, with over 944,000 followers. Messi may now be 2 years old, but he still lives with the effects of the neglect he faced as a cub. He suffers from muscle atrophy and rickets, conditions linked to his poor early health. Because of that, Messi has to take regular vitamin and mineral supplements to keep his bones strong. He still walks with a slight limp and receives frequent medical checkups. Interestingly, although Messi was named after the famous soccer player, his owners weren't soccer fans at all, at least not before they adopted him. But once Messi became part of their lives, their attitude changed. Now Alexander and Mariah watch soccer together and even cheer for Argentina just because of their Puma. Thanks to Messi, Argentina has gained 2 more fans. In general, pet owners spend an average of $1,285 per year on their animals. In the U.S. alone, people spend $70 billion annually on pets. Caring for Messi doesn't come cheap either. He eats twice a day, with a diet made up of raw turkey, beef, and chicken. Mariah and Alexander estimate it costs them about 20,000 to 40,000 rubles per month. That's roughly $300 to $600 just for food. That doesn't even include veterinary bills, which can be pricey on their own. The couple has worked hard to make Messi feel completely at home in their apartment. His favorite toys are simple: empty plastic bottles and balls. One of his most treasured toys is a mini soccer ball gifted to him by a Brazilian journalist. Along with his specially designed climbing nook, Messi also has a mirrored wall where he can keep himself entertained. Sometimes he just sits next to the mirror, quietly watching his reflection, almost like he's deep in thought, while the song Reflection from Mulan plays in the background. It might sound odd, but those dog training classes Alexander and Mariah enrolled him in have really paid off. Messi now knows 10 commands, and he keeps learning more. Messi is also perfectly comfortable walking on a harness, and the couple says he rarely pulls. Not only is his training going well, but Messi has even made friends with the other dogs in his class. All the neighborhood dogs seem to like him and have no problem letting him learn right alongside them. Messi isn't just becoming a well-trained Puma in public. Mariah and Alexander have also managed to house-train him. He does most of his business outside during walks or short day trips. But when a walk isn't possible, Messi has been trained to use the bathtub. It's the same tub he calmly sits in during bath time, too. When Mariah and Alexander first brought Messi home, he was calm, but not especially affectionate. Over the years, though, he's grown close to his human family and become more and more like a typical house cat. Messi loves being petted and especially enjoys having his ears scratched. He has his own cat bed, but he often prefers lying with Alexander in the couple's bed. Messi has even learned not to use his claws when jumping on the bed. Mariah and Alexander admit that having a big cat like Messi does come with some limits. Right now, their only vacation options are places within driving distance. Alexander, who works at a local printing house, also says he can't hang out with friends after work anymore. He needs to get home to walk Messi. Of course, those kinds of sacrifices will sound familiar to anyone who's ever raised a dog or a child. While Messi is calm and has never attacked a person, Mariah and Alexander have discovered that there are certain animals he doesn't get along with. He tends to be wary around animals that are bigger than him or that make unfamiliar sounds. They learned this the hard way during a visit to a farm with cows. Thankfully, Messi doesn't try to harm them. He just stays on alert until they're out of sight. Another animal Messi doesn't get along with is the couple's other cat. Before they got Messi, Mariah and Alexander already had a 6-year-old Sphinx cat named Kira. When they introduced the two, Messi tried to play, but Kira wasn't interested. She hissed and even tried to claw at him. Because of this, the couple now keeps the cats separated while at home. One of the things Mariah and Alexander love most about Messi is how down-to-earth he is. Mariah joked that she's grateful he doesn't realize he's famous, because stars usually have demands. Instead, Messi lives without any special treatment. He doesn't get jealous when the couple gives attention to Kira either. Mariah says she's just thankful he doesn't ask for royal shrimp for breakfast. You might think raising a Puma and a Sphinx cat would be enough, but Mariah and Alexander have plans for more. They're hoping to move out of their apartment and into a bigger house soon, so their cats will have more space. And yes, they even hope to adopt a leopard in the future as a companion for Messi. The couple knows they'll likely face more criticism if they take in another big cat, but that doesn't seem to bother them. All they care about is giving Messi the best life they can.